It's definitely hard to get past the fact that he's not a good shooter, but apart from that, the guy is a very good athlete, very good defender, again even having some good playmaking vision for a big wing, is a very good finisher around the rim and does project as a good off-ball player for backdoor cutting and even being a semi-good lob threat. And hopefully the combination of that with a pretty good offensive IQ does lead to him getting around his three-point shooting and finding a way to get on the court, which will likely have to come through his defense. Getting more into that here, from a numbers standpoint, he did average over 1.5 steals per game last season, leading his team in steals per game, being one of the best defenders in the SEC in my opinion. Unfortunately, he didn't make SEC all defense. I think he maybe should have, but the guy took on some really tough matchups while also leading their team in scoring, so gotta give the guy credit for that. If you're taking on tough wing matchups and defending anywhere from 2 through 4, which he did do and probably still will be able to do at the NBA level, that's pretty impressive. Gotta give it to Adou Thiero. Defensively, he does project well at the NBA level, is a very good athlete, does have a roughly 6'6.5" frame, measuring in at 6'6.25" barefoot, so over 6'7" with shoes on, having a true 7-foot wingspan, weighing in at 218 pounds at the draft combine, having nearly a 9-foot standing reach, and that's very impressive for a shooting guard small forward hybrid. Not gonna find many of those, but Adou Thiero is one of them. He didn't do the draft combine vertical measurement, but if I had to guess, he will be somewhere between a 35 and 40 inch vertical. Simply watching his highlights, or if you have actually watched him on the court, the guy's a great athlete. That obviously contributes to his defense, is able to move his feet very well, is able to recover well on defense, and simply take on tough defensive matchups. That's definitely the highlight of his game and the thing you can point to him, and especially translating to the NBA level in my opinion. It's got to come through defense. I wouldn't call him as limited to a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, for example, but he definitely is a bit limited offensively, having to carve out a role through his defense, and that's kind of the question here. Is he more a project player for them? I would probably lean in that direction, or do they kind of expect him to be a rotation player and are hoping for that to happen? That's definitely up for debate here. Will he be able to stay on the court enough offensively to be able to take advantage of his defense? I'm not sure he will. Definitely hoping for it, but again, you simply can't get around the fact that he's not a reliable shooting option, and at the NBA level with the more floor spacing and kind of having to play the 4-out or even 5-out offense, he's gonna be at the 3-point line more than he wants to be, and more than the Lakers probably want him to be too, at least at his current development rate. And again, are you able to take advantage of his defense while getting around his offense and primarily with that 3-point shooting? That's yet to be seen here, and I hope they find a way to do it, but I'm not too optimistic about it. Again, would absolutely love their training camp group and the guys helping him to develop a shot do that very quickly, but it's going to be a quick turnaround from him. Having to go from only attempting 74 3-point shots at the college level to now becoming a semi-reliable 3-point shooter, even a semi-reliable corner 3-point shooter, is a very tall task for Adou Thiero to accomplish. Yes, he does have summer league, does have training camp, does have preseason, but even with that roughly 4 to 5 months of time here, it's going to be very difficult for him to pull off. Now I hate to sound too negative about him, as I really do like him, apart from the 3-point shooting, and yes, that definitely is a big deal here, not only for me, but pretty much any other NBA scout or anyone trying to find a role for a player on a team, that's a big deal. But apart from that, hard to find great athletes that could eventually become a 3-and-D option, hard to simply find the genetic gifts that Adou Thiero does have from a height, athletic ability standpoint, and even the fact that he got around the 3-point shooting, found a way to be a productive and actual efficient offensive player without the 3-point shooting. Hard to find that. Developing the 3-point shot is one thing, finding everything else that he currently offers is another thing entirely. Finding the defense, finding the high IQ, finding the rebounding ability, haven't even mentioned that, is a very good rebounder for a wing player, better than a guy like Rui Hachimura in my opinion. Averaging 5.8 rebounds per game as a 6'7" wing player is very impressive, and not to mention only 27 minutes per game too. So again, I like him, I think he's a pretty good prospect, but I think at the end of the day here, he'd probably be a better fit for a rebuilding team or a team that's looking to take on project players, rather than a team like the Lakers, who we as Laker fans are hoping they try to contend and are in a more win-now situation, which I'm not sure Adou Thiero is a great fit for. Yes, he does fit Luka Doncic's timeline better than obviously LeBron's timeline, but trying to find the happy medium between that, trying to compete this season, which Luka Doncic obviously wants to do too, I'm not sure he fits into that. I'd kind of compare him to a Olivier Maxence Prosper that the Mavericks drafted, a guy that wasn't immediately ready but could eventually be ready in 1 to 2 years down the road. That could help them then, but right now it might not immediately help them out. So that's kind of the argument here. Was he the right pick for their team right now? Could he eventually become what they want him to be? Maybe, but at the end of the day here, he might not be a rotation player for them this season. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.